Hello and welcome to all of you to the very first of what we're going to call the lockdown lessons. Now, to begin with, I think we should probably talk about what it is we're going to be doing today and why we're doing that. So as you can see from the very first slide, today we're going to be looking at an extract from the diary of Adrian, which is quite a well-known piece of literature, and then we're going to do a little bit of writing based on that. In the broader sense though, I think we should address a couple of things about what we're doing and why. Firstly, this is a fairly unusual situation, fairly unusual times. So our priority is very much to keep you engaged with what we're doing, keep you reading, writing and thinking, because fundamentally that's what English is, and if you're doing those things, we're on to a winner. Moreover, the choice of the task is not an accident. A diary is a very balanced and personal piece of writing that balances some broader narratives with personal narration. And it gives you an opportunity not just to get down some of your ideas, but also in getting down some of those ideas to shape them yourselves and perhaps get a clearer view of what's going on at the moment. So let's begin with the example. Adrian was a set of books that were written back in the early 1980s. The first novel was set in 1981, and it takes the form of a series of diary entries from the really socially awkward Adrian. It details his concerns, and it also gives us a bit of an insight into the backdrop of the early 1980s. And fundamentally, it's funny. A lot of the humour derives from his misinterpretation of what's going on around him, and he's quite a funny yet likeable character, somebody who we can relate to. Now, the book and the series of books that followed were hugely successful and influential on a lot of people like myself, who read these as a teenager. And indeed it was recently listed as one of the 100 most influential books of recent times. Now hopefully in your reading that you will find all kinds of things there, but fundamentally he's a likeable character who we can relate to. Now, following on from that reading, what we want you to do is a little bit of writing. Now the first part of this is going to be your planning. I've done an example for you of how you might go about planning and some of the things you might get in there. And the important part of the plan is really that you do so without much concern for spelling, punctuation, grammar, presentation. You just get the ideas down there. And you can see from my example that presentation is definitely something I've not really looked at. It's getting down what you want to say. It's that very, very first stage before you start turning that into something more extended. Now, once you've done this, your job is then to turn that into a piece of writing. So I'm going to give you my example now of what I've written, and hopefully you can do the same. Monday the 23rd of March 2020. The last week has been something else. Surprising, worrying, interesting, annoying and saddening are all words which come to mind. However, it has never been simple or static. The coronavirus pandemic is something people will be talking about 50 years from now in the same way that we all talk about the Great Depression. Friday the 20th was a profoundly strange day. Saying farewell to so many young people in March felt surreal. I'm left wondering how life will be for maybe months without standing on the path at lunchtime and talking about sandwiches and facial hair and goodness knows what. Looking forwards though, we've got to put it in perspective and view this as an opportunity. It's a chance to do new things, or maybe to do some old things in a different way. Therefore, I've set myself 3 targets. Number 1. Take the opportunity to do something different with school. Do some videos, try and work out what Instaface is, maybe even use it. Number 2, stay in touch with the people that I teach. That's a really important one. Number 3, try something new every week, especially when spending time with my family. I still don't get TikTok though, and I don't really think I want to. Now it's your turn to get writing. If you want to read any more Adrian, or want to look at some of the links that we've got there at the end of the slides, I'd highly recommend it. In the meantime though, I'd get writing. Remember, hand in that work through the Google Classroom. Your teachers will have probably had words with you about how to do that, and if not, they'll be there to give you some feedback and guidance. Check for the feedback. We're aiming and looking forward to giving you some feedback, and we're looking forward to reading it. Hopefully next week, in the next video, we'll be able to share some staff examples of that. And in the meantime, take care, take the opportunities that this offers, and stay safe.